Hi, welcome back to the channel. My name's Rebecca, I'm 45 years old and I used to suffer from multiple sclerosis, but I no longer experience any of the symptoms since starting the carnivore diet just over 2 years ago. Today's video is going up on New Year's Eve, so I usually post on Wednesdays, and that means that this year I have posted on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. So, of course, I wanted to do a New Year themed video today. And as we enter As we enter 2026, I am both reflecting on the previous year, on how 2025 went, and I am looking forward to what might come in the next year. And I really feel that we're possibly at a tipping point when it comes to the carnivore diet. What I have observed is that so many more people are starting to learn about the benefits of a meat-based diet and eliminating all the extra junk that is today's staple diet. You only have to scratch the surface a little bit to reach thousands upon thousands of health testimonies of people reporting relief from their symptoms of whatever illness it might be. If you look at Dave Mack's channel as a starter, I always recommend his channel because he has compiled a huge data set of evidence that can't be ignored. It can't continue to be ignored. As more and more people put their testimonies online about overcoming things from eczema up to cancer, people have to stop at some point and start listening. Maybe this is why I'm feeling that we're at a tipping point, because my own neurologist has started to change his attitude towards me. He was highly skeptical when I first told him I was carnivore, but as he's continued to see me live completely healthily without any symptoms of MS, he has started to change his attitude towards me. That's something that happened this past year, which has given me a lot of optimism that maybe we're reaching a point where people are simply tired of being confused by nutritional advice that changes every year, superfoods that just keep rotating around, and studies that contradict each other. There's just so much noise out there, and ingredients lists that are longer than your arm, and the meat-based diet is so simple. It's the most nutritionally dense whole food that there is, and we need fat. That is, I think, the most controversial thing about the diet. For me, it was the most shocking thing about the diet, the discovery that I need cholesterol, I need saturated fat, my brain needs it, my body needs it, my hormones need it. It's absolutely fundamental to human health. And I do feel like what's most simple and obvious is becoming what's most radical. But as people start to lose faith in the institutions that we've always put our trust in, that's starting to change, particularly since the pandemic. I think more and more people are holding healthy skepticism towards the messages that we receive from the mainstream institutions and the mainstream media. And I think that sense of confusion and complexity and mixed messages that ultimately contradict what our bodies are telling us and what our instincts are telling us, I do feel that is starting to reach a tipping point, and that there's something in the human race at the moment that is craving to go back to its roots, our roots as a species. Our ancestors thrived on a meat-based diet. For example, veganism, it's an ideology, and I feel like people aren't, I for one have ideology fatigue. I am looking for relief. I am looking for health. I am looking for simplicity. I am looking for what's most deeply true about my human existence. That relief from inflammation, that relief from horrible symptoms of fatigue and brain fog, that relief from cravings, sugar cravings, it's all part of the carnivore diet. And I really feel like me as an individual, but also what I'm noticing as a trend, is that other people are experiencing the same. Carnivore is a reset button for your life. Maybe somebody might try the carnivore diet and not stick to it for the rest of their life, but it's a way of resetting. And it's not just the diet, it's the intermittent fasting as well. That's really important and it's really powerful. So it's like eliminating the junk of the wider world and just getting back to basics, and then building from there once you have recovered your strength and your health and your clarity about your body and about your health and about nutrition. That's my geese. Who did not get eaten at Christmas, even though I'm carnivore, because they have names. Although one got eaten by a fox, very sadly. Geraldine. We sadly lost Geraldine to a fox this Christmas. So anyway, Mr. Fox had a good Christmas dinner. As I was saying, so carnivore as like a reset button, as a way to remove all the noise and just go back to zero and listen to your body. That is so much more intuitive and so much stronger and more powerful as a way of claiming body sovereignty than following a fad diet. It's not a fad diet, it's not a religion, it's a reset button, and it is a way of living which strips away all the crap and just gets things back down to zero. And I think as carnivores, what I would wish for would be for carnivores to really fight for the end of factory farming. I feel like carnivores and vegans could unite on that factor, because that's something that's leveled at us. You know, we're contributing to something that's really unnecessarily cruel, and I would agree with that. So for me, 2026 being the year of the carnivore, on a personal level, for me, that means taking steps towards creating my own homestead where I raise my own animals. That's my personal resolution for 2026. And I'm super excited about that. That is why I'm so forward focused at the moment. But as I say, I'm noticing that across the internet, I mean, I know that on the internet we get into our echo chambers and, you know, it starts feeding us information about things we're already interested in, and we can get an impression that the whole world's talking about something that really, you know, we're all just in our lane. But I have noticed that the carnivore diet is getting more exposure on some very big platforms. Some very big influencers have started talking about it, such as Russell Brand, for example, who was vegan. I don't know if he is still vegan, but he's definitely featured some interviews with people who are carnivore or keto. I've actually met Russell Brand, I just want to say, because it was like one of the coolest moments of my life when I met Russell Brand, and we had a really cool chat, like quite a long chat. I know that there's a lot of controversy around him at the moment, legal controversy around him. I don't know if he's innocent or guilty, that's not for me to say, but I just want to say that I had a really wonderful experience when I met him, and that I think he's done a lot of really important work over the pandemic years and beyond with regard to reworking some of the dominant narratives that are out there and holding that space for critical thought. And he does that in a very entertaining and clever way. And he might generate a lot of controversy, but of course he will, because anything that goes against the mainstream always generates controversy or ridicule. So that's just part of the territory. But anyway, Russell Brand, even as a vegan, he has featured people on his channel who have advocated the carnivore diet. And I believe that Stephen Bartlett, Diary of a CEO, I believe he has also had interviews with people who have advocated the carnivore diet and nutritional advice that goes against what we're being told. So they are some really big influencers who have put out some very thoughtful stuff that has been open to the carnivore diet. So that's more than just being in an echo chamber. That's really big influencers who aren't known for being carnivore, who are including it in their discourse. And the more people who are online talking about the impact that the diet has had on their health, the positive impact, the more that is going to grow, and the more we are going to move away from a sense that it's a movement and towards the sense that it's a memory. It's a memory of how we used to live, how we used to eat, how we used to thrive physically and mentally as a species. The truth is very, very strong, and the evidence is out there and it's growing, and maybe the tide will start to turn. I'm not saying that 2026 is going to be the year where everybody suddenly switches to the lion diet, but maybe it could be the year where people stop being afraid to question nutritional dogma that is ultimately weakening us and leading us down a very unhealthy path. And maybe it could be the beginning of us reclaiming our bodies and our minds. That's what I hope for. And that's what I'm putting out into the universe this new year. I am particularly excited this new year because I've got some really exciting changes happening, and I unfortunately still can't share this piece of news because I have to wait till after the Christmas break to be able to finalize things. So I still can't share it with you. But yeah, I'm feeling reflective of the past 2 years since I've been on the diet, which has been a real struggle at times. I have been through some very dark times as I have been healing and moving away from the difficulties that came into my life when I was still struggling with multiple sclerosis and the after effects of those difficulties. But I am at a point where I'm ready to let all that go, and I am really excited to move into a whole new world where I might be able to have a homestead. So yeah, that's a hint, but I will give you guys more information about that in the coming weeks. And I just wanted to wish you all a very happy New Year's. It's going to be a good one. I just feel like, okay, maybe there's the famous last words. I mean, I bet everyone in 2020 was like, oh yeah, it's going to be a great one. And then we all know what happened then. So I don't want to get like too excited, but I don't know. I just feel like there's something in the air this year, certainly on a personal level for me. And I really hope that for you guys as well, it's a year where we're ready to reclaim body sovereignty in this world, where just doing that has become something radical. And it really shouldn't be. It's a fundamental right that we should be sovereign beings. And that starts with body sovereignty. So for me, that's at the center of my fight, of my message, body sovereignty. And so that's why I think that this year is going to be the year of the carnivore. Not the year of the horse, the year of the carnivore. That's what I'm focused on, creating that not just as a way of eating, but a lifestyle. So I will be working on that in my own life, and I will be working to spread the message on my YouTube channel. And so anyway, I really wish you guys a happy and healthy New Year 2026. See you in the next video. Bye.